Breaking news, that red Ford Fusion you see traveling westbound on 270 towards the city of St. Louis. Police are chasing that vehicle. At this point, we have absolutely no idea why police are chasing it, but this is all developing here within the last 10 or 15 minutes or so. Again, this is happening on 270. This vehicle is heading towards the city. We now understand that this started as a carjacking, so the person driving that vehicle, not the owner of that vehicle. If Bommarito Automotive Skyfox can pan out wide here, you can see the police cars who are following that vehicle. We are going to continue to follow this story next on our sister station, Fox 2 News at 5. Follow all developments on KPLR11.com as well as Fox2Now.com. Again, breaking news in North St. Louis County. Police chasing the red vehicle you see on your screen. More coming up on Fox 2.
Fox 2 News starts now with breaking news.
And we are following breaking news right now, giving you a live shot from Bommarito Automotive Skyfox. You are watching what is a police pursuit, and we are told that this has been going on for at least 35 to 40 minutes.
You're looking live right now from Bommarito Automotive Skyfox on Riverview, where that red Ford Fusion has been leading police on this chase that started as a carjacking in the Metro East. The chase then went over back into Missouri and on the Stan Musial Bridge, then back into Illinois. And now you see that red Ford Fusion. Now they're really getting into some areas where the traffic is going to become an issue. He's been on the interstate for the last, half hour, but now off on Riverview. And we've seen him going by police cars, but now there are more, and that traffic's coming to a standstill.
Yeah, we've been watching this for about 15 minutes ourselves, and we hadn't seen this vehicle, man. It was a great point you brought up, dealing with much of any traffic, and we're watching it now, getting a little bit more bold, a little more brazen, trying to squeeze through some spots because this is the congested area. It looked like State Highway Patrol had done a fantastic job keeping people away from this vehicle, and I think we just saw it.
Yeah, he just hit a car. He's now going in on the wrong side of the street. Traffic that going straight at traffic coming in his direction. Now back onto the right side of the street. He was on 270, came from Metro East, got off at Riverview, and now weaving through these streets and onto side streets in and out of traffic. Looked like he hit the median, the concrete median. He also scraped some cars and barely missing that car. Now's when it really becomes an issue. You can see police are right on his tail. They've been standing back a little bit. This chase has reached high speeds, but now once he's gotten off the interstate and going through North St. Louis at this point, there's a real danger to people who are just driving along the streets.
Yeah, we remind people to stay with us. I mean, police have been on this for a while. This is the fastest speed that we'd seen this car traveling since we saw it on the highway, but police in the area know they are starting to come out, try to maybe stop this vehicle. At a couple points when this vehicle was on 270 traveling west, police were allowing it to continue on, passing other police cars that were sitting on the right-hand side, trying to judge the situation, trying to see what they could do.
He almost just hit a fire truck going, confronting traffic going in the opposite direction, going through these intersections where cars, he's just barely missing these cars. We know all of this started as a carjacking, and it is now reaching a critical point as he's just narrowly missing these people, unsuspecting drivers who are trying to make their way home in the afternoon rush.
Yeah, trying to get a better idea of exactly where that vehicle is traveling through North St. Louis, maybe traveling more towards the city. But you also have to wonder, since this started as a carjacking, you said it, man, this car's been traveling at a high rate of speed, back and forth for over 40 minutes. How much gas this person has.
There aren't any police cars close to this individual here, not even paying attention to any stop signs, stop lights, anything as it makes its way here in St. Louis City. Again, it's gone from downtown to Illinois to St. Louis County into St. Louis City, just on a move today. And, you know, they're saying that the two individuals they believe in here on this car armed and dangerous. Now you see another police car working its way up there. They believe the two individuals armed and dangerous right now on, Justin, what road did you say?
Riverview. It's on Riverview
Road.
right now. Yeah, and that road goes for several miles. So, you know, I mean, there's really no telling in these situations. You just don't know until you know what's going to happen, really what the intent of that person really is. Obviously, at this point, it's to get away. That's a close call there with that white van. This started about 4:25 p.m., so we're going on just over 45 minutes. This has been happening. Police obviously want to stop this person. They want to track down this red Ford Fusion. Again, started fleeing downtown on the span, the Veterans Memorial Bridge there, and now coming back closer into downtown. So that car was going westbound on Riverview, may have changed streets, and now it looks to be going onto the highway. Claire, I'm not sure which highway that is.
Getting back on 70, our producer just telling us in our ear right now, a lot of movement, so we have a lot of people in our newsroom working to figure out exactly what's going on southbound toward the city. So southbound 70 heading into the city. At this point, again, police cars still chasing that red Ford Fusion. And this car, Courtney, really on the move because it was about 20-25 minutes ago, maybe Sky Zoo 4 even lost track of where it is and was obviously able to spot it again. But they're not stopping for anyone, weaving in and out of cars. You can only imagine what the people in the cars here that we're seeing are thinking as this car is just going all over Interstate 70 as it heads right back into the city.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch. Those people have no idea what's coming. They can only react and drive as defensively as possible. The car just passed Grand, as you're seeing. It's going towards downtown St. Louis on I-70 southbound. Just past Salisbury.
There's another police car then joining the chase right there. At some points, reaching speeds we heard of above 100 miles per hour even in areas where Salisbury is the exit. That's the exit that they just passed the Salisbury exit there on 70. Even off the side of the highway there, crossing over.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to watch. Right now, I mean, just no regard for the people around him on the road. You know, it's a very dangerous situation.
So they are still in North City at this point. Again, what we know, that red Ford Fusion was carjacked yesterday in North City. Police are saying to stay away from this vehicle if it does at some point stop, because they believe the two individuals inside at this point are dangerous, possibly armed. So again, if this car does come to a stop at any point, they're asking everybody to stay away from it. In the fast lane now of 70, approaching North St. Louis City, still with a lot of cars around it, the police chase. And we're approaching the downtown area. We've seen one car, a couple of police cars there behind chasing as well. You
know, the dynamic of a police pursuit really changes when you hit surface streets. So it will be interesting to see what happens if that suspect does make it into downtown St. Louis, maybe goes through downtown, and obviously can reach higher speeds on the highway. But police may get the upper hand if they're able to establish a roadblock. We've seen situations where they try to stop a suspect that way. But you also have other cars on the road that could stop a suspect's path. So as you're seeing right here, a little bit more congestion, but the suspect is just,
on the shoulder,
using any kind of edge he can get or find at this situation.
And you could imagine all the work that's going on right now behind the scenes in regard to the police departments who are all working together. It's gone through a number of municipalities, from St. Louis City, St. Louis County, over to Illinois, working with Illinois State Police as well. So you can imagine there is so much work going on behind the scenes to try to stop this red Ford Fusion that was carjacked yesterday in North St. Louis City.
We are in the 50th minute or so here, approaching the 1 hour mark that this has been going on. Police are sure to be changing their strategy based on what facts they have, which is this person is clearly not stopping, and now we have contact with a vehicle that
hit a car that was stalled on the side of the road, now still going. Obviously a lot of damage to the front of the red Ford Fusion. And I know Megan Danahay in our studio, she just did what all of us were doing. And watching from home.
We are now south of downtown St. Louis. Obviously the suspect, hitting that car we all saw didn't slow him down much beyond hitting the actual car. He doesn't care. Looks like police are closing the distance here a little bit, but they have been staying back. it looks like they may be taking on a more aggressive stance, trying to just get this guy because he obviously hit someone.
Yeah, and it seems to be a little more aggressive when the police officers know there aren't as many cars surrounding that red Ford Fusion. When they hit areas like this where there's not too many vehicles on the road, you know, before when he's bobbing and weaving in and out of cars, obviously police are going to stay back a bit, but seems, Courtney, as if slowing down a little bit, those sparks that are coming out from underneath the car, and it's parts of the car just going all over 70, really coming to a halt here. We understand from our producer we are now on Interstate 44 as parts of the vehicle start to come off after they hit that car that was stalled just probably about 5 miles back. But man, this is an individual who's relentless. He's determined to try to get away from police officers.
Yeah, you know, all the car chases we've seen, it's really surprising how much further they can keep going and keep going. We're seeing pieces of the car fall off.
And now, like, the speed picked right back up again.
Right. So really anything can happen.
That was the Jefferson exit, Megan, you said?
He's about
Okay.
at Jefferson.
He's getting off Jefferson, so this is 44 westbound that he's going, getting off at Jefferson, taking a right there. So he's headed toward Lafayette Square to that neighborhood. Yep, now heading north on Jefferson. If he continues for more miles, he will end up at Choteau. Perhaps that's an area some of you are familiar with, and a little beyond Choteau is Highway 40.
Claire, I want to point out, you know, we're seeing sparks. This could come to an end, and we don't know what's going to happen as police believe there's 2 armed and dangerous suspects inside of this car. This is playing out live on your TV screen right now, so we may have to cut out of this unexpectedly. We don't want to show you pictures that may be inappropriate for live television. But again, it looks like as the suspect approaches downtown St. Louis, it may come to an end. This is Park Avenue now.
No, I believe that's Choteau. That's Choteau. So then Choteau, we're heading eastbound on Choteau.
At least one rear tire is blown.
Yeah, not going against traffic at this point in time, but we'll see how far he can travel. He did go past a few more of those police officer cars, and now we see that chase speeding up again. This is about as fast as we've seen it since he's been on the highway as well.
Well, and he's right in the middle of that turning lane, and you just get so nervous for who might be in the path. And here's a major intersection coming up.
And that's where the dangerous intersections happen. He had already gone through at least one red light, maybe a second time.
We understand that front tire is out as well. So he's swerving off the road. He kind of hit the sidewalk there at that point, and smoke is coming out of that front tire now.
Yeah, this suspect now putting in at least 50 minutes in this getaway, if you will. Police on his tail for 50 minutes now in this pursuit at least. Not sure, maybe one tire we're talking about, not sure how long he's going to go, but once again, slowing down now. Not sure exactly what street or road he is on either.
Yeah, he's moving a lot slower now, and this should not last much longer, and our hope is that he will stop before someone gets hurt. There have been 2 cars that have been hit, we know of, that we witnessed while we've been watching this. But now he's at the roundabout and running out of options.
Yeah, police have been very patient. We've been showing what police have been doing. You haven't seen any police vehicle, any sort of car, SUV, you name it, try to ram this car off the road, just kind of letting it take its course, seeing where it would go, and eventually let it wear out, which is what it appears that it might be doing right now. Once again, this happening at rush hour in one of the most dangerous times, and fortunately, as we can tell so far, no major issues or problems outside of the traffic that's been caused.
All right, he is now on northbound Tucker at Park. Northbound Tucker is where the chase is going on right now, going through that red light where traffic has stopped. Staying on the right side of the road at least, but he is on northbound Tucker, which is headed right into the heart of downtown.
Yeah, and we're being told, we're getting some information, preliminary information, that many more police officers are leaving City Hall to go join this chase, hopefully to end this as quick as possible. Maybe it'll come to an end before that even
He's going
is
right by
needed.
the police department and City Hall. That's fitting. Police chase going right by the police department and City Hall. So you know how busy that area is right now. We've got a ground shot as they're driving by all the police cars. We are live in Bommarito Automotive Skyfox and live on the ground as well. coming up at that intersection. Not exactly sure which one that is, but right in the heart of downtown St. Louis right now, weaving through the streets.
And we're also seeing right now, well, not many cars on the road where this suspect is traveling, at least in his direction, which is good and makes it a whole lot easier for police. And I think what you're going to see too as we get up here, as it gets into some of these the intersections, police still staying right there on the tail of this vehicle. You imagine the thoughts of this person right now, because they know that their time is limited with maybe one wheel left. We've seen at least two pop at this point in time.
Yeah, the back one's out. You can see some smoke still coming. The front tire is out. It's hard for our cameras as they weave through these tall buildings in downtown St. Louis. Not sure which street he's on now. He was on Tucker and made a left and heading, we believe, westbound right now.
And once again, if you might just be joining us, this all started as a carjacking in Illinois, on the Illinois side, about 55 minutes ago. This vehicle has been back and forth across the river at least twice, and then started to head back in a fifth time right now, which has led us down through the city.
This is Locust. This is Locust in downtown St. Louis. The chase is heading south right now. So south on Locust. I think he's trying to get back on the interstate.
Well, he could come back around from where they are right now. He could do that. I don't think police are going to allow it. They're patiently waiting. They could easily go in, but we don't know exactly what's going on, if the suspect has shown any weapons in the vehicle, which would put police at risk as well. But
police are confirming there are at least two tires out on the vehicle, but we've been watching this live here on Fox 2, and we saw the sparks from those tires as they blew. Not sure if they did it on their own or police put out some spikes and some stop sticks, but so far he hasn't stopped and he's still going. And more sparks coming now, which can cause the car to catch on fire, and it looks like it's close to it.
Well, he hasn't shown us any reason to believe that he's going to stop without the car stopping him. And last report we had, or preliminary reports, it's just one suspect in that vehicle right now. Not sure about weapons, not sure about who it is, just that that car was, somebody was carjacked and that car was stolen on this. And yeah, we're seeing more and more of the sparks and the smoke, which would show us that that car will lose any maneuverability pretty soon.
We know St. Louis City Police are involved in this heavily. We're not sure which other jurisdictions, but St. Louis City Police, now he just hit a car and went up on the side. That looked like hit a white car. Police are coming out and they're taking him into custody.
And that was fast. They were right there on him to get the suspect out on the ground right now, ending this, what has been at least 55 minutes now, pursuit back and forth from both sides of the river.
Well, it hit the back of that white car, stopped at a stoplight, went up on its side, then came back down on all four tires, and police were in there pulling him out, and he is under arrest right now. And we continue to bring you live pictures of this police pursuit that has just ended. We believe this is Locust. This is near downtown St. Louis. It is Compton and Market, where this police pursuit has just ended. Numerous police on the scene taking a carjacking suspect who put many lives in danger as he has been weaving in and out of oncoming traffic across the bridge from Metro East into downtown, back and forth 2 times, and then into downtown St. Louis. But that person, looks like just one person, is in custody.
It is remarkable how patient police were and how many miles this suspect was able to put on that car in a police pursuit, back and forth, starting in Illinois, going through Edwardsville near 157, back across the river into Missouri, back to Illinois, and then back to Missouri again, where we picked up our chase in our 4 o'clock news hour on Channel 11, continuing it here, of course, for the last 17, 18 minutes. And that's what you have been watching, is that police pursuit coming to what appears a peaceful end for what it could have been. And you see that police presence there that was following that car.
Well, he hit at least 2 to 3 cars along the way that we saw stopped at stoplights, but we don't know of any injuries, but definitely he rammed a couple of them, but it could have been much worse. Again, this is at Compton and Market. One person taken into custody, a red Ford Fusion that has been leading police on a high-speed chase for most of the late afternoon for the last